Well, actually, shit. Let me do this. In five, four, three, two, one, and we back. Yeah. And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Yeah. Oh, and we back yet again. Thinking Out Loud podcast. It's your boy Jay Lip. And I got the big homie in the building with me, my bro, my main man from Sudan, C.Smith in the building. C.Smith, let them know what it is, baby. Where can they reach you at?
What's going on, man? I'm C.Smith at everything.
At
Skype,
everything.
what is it? Instagram. If I'm not on Twitter, it's Snapchat.
Okay, so we got the Instagram, we got the Twitter, we got the bombs dropping for you right now. We got the DJ Clue bombs now.
No, I'm not on Twitter.
Not on Twitter, Instagram, and where else?
Snapchat.
So holler at them if you want to send them a little bit of those little Snapchat, little filthy pictures that y'all youngins do. Y'all nasty youngins.
Nah.
That Snapchat. Because the old niggas like me, 31 going on 32, I don't fuck with Snapchat. I can't understand the buttons.
32, that sounds crazy.
It's in November, my nigga, in November. But right now, we got to give another thanks to you joining us for what I like to call What the Hell Wednesday, because we ain't never did this shit. What the hell Wednesday? We ain't never did this shit before. A back-to-back, boy, can't believe it. I can't believe it. So
thanks for having me.
Of course, bro. And with that being said, we got to jump into this shit and we got to get it in how we supposed to. Let's get to the shits. Oh, and before we do that, I got to make sure everybody recognize the fact that this is a professional. When it comes to the topic at hand, this is a professional. So, we're going to do these hot takes real quick. And let me make sure, all right, we good. Watch, listen, comment, like, and most importantly, enjoy TOLPcast.com.
Click the like button. Click the like. A lot of y'all just be watching.
Exactly, my nigga.
I hate that. Oh yeah, I saw your video. Comment, say something, like it. Let us know.
Exactly. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and dive straight into the shits. So, the first topic I want to address is hot takes. Everybody talking about hot takes. So, we're going to format the podcast in that regard, hot takes. The first one, of course, is the YouTube shooter. So, basically, to give you a little background, there was a lady on YouTube. She was doing her thing. They ended up censoring, in her words, censoring her content. And with that being said, she drove up to the YouTube campus and she just let the guns go off. She let the tech spit. Shot 3 people. Then killed herself. For what purpose?
Oh.
For what purpose? If you trying to make a point, why kill yourself?
I ain't know that part.
Well, that's what happens. So I want to ask you, what do you think about the fact that we have a current society where people are basically killing themselves over YouTube censorship, over monetization not occurring, over just this ad revenue, all that shit? Like, it's YouTube, my nigga. Like, why? So, how important is social media to you? I guess that's what it translates to. Is it that deep? Is it that deep?
Man, we are from Detroit, so we've heard of worse things happening.
East side or west side? East side or west side?
I'm from the west side.
West side.
I grew up in southwest Detroit, to be exact.
Yes, sir.
But YouTube it's a lot of money in YouTube now. So that was her main source of income. So once they took that away, she like, how I'm gonna make a living? So she like, y'all took my livelihood away from me. So it's only right I do the same, but instead of livelihood, she forgot to keep the HOOD at the end,
right,
and just took lives.
Exactly.
It's crazy how she had access to get into the building. That's what I'm confused about. How you just let anybody in without access?
They said that she ran up on the campus, so we don't know if she was in the building or not. We don't know if she was outside in the parking garage, but she popped 3 people.
I'm sure it wasn't random.
2 of which were okay. 1 is in critical condition. Prayers up to him and his family. Prayers up to everybody involved. except for the person who caused the crime. Because at the end of the day, if you have some animosity and some issue with some shit, you don't just go up and shoot the employees. They didn't block your shit. They didn't turn your monetization off. They didn't downgrade your profile. Like, you're going against the wrong people. You're thinking about the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So that shit kind of fucked me up, and I wanted to get your opinion on that. And you agree, I assume?
So, did they say who she shot actually, or
Yeah, they
are
said
these are random people?
randoms. Just the first people she did a video where she talked about the fact that she was frustrated with YouTube because they kept turning off her monetization. They kept what do you call it? They changed her video profile from everyone to 18 and up, and they said because she had some type of sexual, sensual content, and she came on a video and did a little manifesto saying, "Y'all don't do that to Nicki Minaj. Y'all don't do that to Miley Cyrus. So why you doing that to me?" But
Well, I did hear that they was cutting back on a lot of YouTubers, like cutting off them far as monetizing. So I did hear about that because I watch a lot of YouTube, and
okay,
it's a lot of people. It's like, yeah, be on the lookout because they are shutting down people
yep.
in their pages. So I don't know the reason behind it, but they have been cutting back.
So with that
You
being
know,
said, but is that a reason to shoot niggas?
no. It's taking someone's life because you lost out on some money. That money and life don't go hand in hand. Like,
My man,
you can't put a price on somebody's head.
my
People
man,
people do it, but it ain't right.
my man,
And she
100
killed her.
grand.
She killed herself because she didn't want to face the consequences.
Yep,
That's some sucker. That's some sucker shit.
it is. And then kind of diving into some more sucker shit. So the big homie, well, he ain't my big homie, and I don't know whose big homie he is, but the man Safari got robbed.
He's nobody's big homie.
Right, so the man Safari, he ended up getting robbed. I want to say yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, robbed in
That's
the early
crazy.
early a.m. in Jersey, and he got robbed. They said they took 175,000 plus from him in jewels, cash, whatever he had on him, and then he went and did the Angie Martinez show. And so he's on the Angie Martinez show, and he starts off.
Oh, so he went up there because he got robbed, or he already
No,
had the
he was
scheduled
already
interview?
scheduled. He was already scheduled.
I was about
That
to say,
same
like,
night.
who?
No,
I'm about to say, come on, bro.
no. The same night
Come on.
the same night he was scheduled, or rather the same morning he was scheduled to be on her show. He got robbed earlier, a few hours earlier. He said he came straight from the precinct to the show. So
All right, that makes sense.
he said, "I'm not ever going to not get my bag." So he had to go get the bag. He had to go to Angie Martinez because that's a very popular platform. You can't just say, "Angie, I'm sorry, I can't do it," and expect to get on next week. If you don't,
She's a legend in radio.
exactly. So with that being said, a lot of folks is talking about, "Oh, he on some fuck shit. He a pussy because he crying on air and blah blah blah." Now, granted, the man had two guns pointed to his head, robbed him
Almost
for his
lost
shit.
his life.
Exactly. And he don't know what's about to happen because he don't know if I'm getting robbed over beef, if I'm getting robbed over flaunting, but
Or this some Meek Mill shit.
it could be. But it's also a fact that Safari runs around town with the
With a
mink,
fur coat on.
with the fur coat on, no shirt, with the jewels hanging out, throwing cash at the Breakfast Club a couple weeks ago in an interview when he was promoting his 100 money dance or whatever it's called, the $100 dance or whatever. Nigga, they took more than $100 from your ass for you to be crying on Angie Martinez. So
Was this like sincere crying, or because I didn't watch it yet?
It was a humble cry. It was no tears. It was just it was the slave cry. That's what Faison Love called it when
But my boy at work actually told me about the interview. I didn't watch it. He said he broke down because his uncle or somebody had just died recently from the same thing.
Botched robbery.
He got robbed.
Yeah, botched robbery. His uncle just got his rest in power to his uncle. His uncle got robbed recently, and he was just saying that he's thinking about how it would impact his mother, and he was just thinking about how real it was because his uncle had got killed off the same type of shit. And I respect that and I understand it, but my question is this. Safari has never made himself to be some type of like street nigga as far as like I represent the hood, I represent the block. Like Safari
Right.
been on some like flossy glossy stuff ever since him and Nicki broke up. So with that being said, he kind of goofy. He a little goofy, you know. It's not a huge
Right.
deal, but it is what it is. So for him to open up and be like, you know, I'm still shook. The question was, why would you then do an interview like going straight from the precinct, filing the police report to the Angie Martinez show? In my opinion, I wouldn't. I would have did the same thing. But there are people who are saying you don't catch yourself slipping and then cry on camera about it. And I want to get your opinion on that.
Shit, Jim Jones cried on camera. Didn't nobody say
Damn.
nothing about that.
That's a good ass
And
point.
he got the
He
persona
had
as a
real
tough
tears.
guy.
Yeah, Jim
He,
had.
he got, and everybody know he tough.
Yeah, Jim had the real tears, the tears that you could see
Dog.
visibly. Yeah,
Right, like
was
his
like-
eyes was like swole.
yes, nigga, you could see the pain, and he was like,
Like
"You don't know
one
what I
of those-
did."
One of those I cry myself to sleep cries.
Right.
Over a man.
You
Can't
ain't
cry.
shit, Smith. You ain't.
I'm just telling you, like he has a legit reason to cry. He's happy to be alive. He thought about me not being here.
Yeah, he had one of those. What do you call it?
But
Like crying in the
to answer
mirror.
your question, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like everybody says that showing emotion is a weakness. I think it's a strength because you owning up to it. And he's saying, hey, this is something real that actually happened to me. And it can happen to anybody. Like, shit, it just happened to my uncle. I'm pretty sure he wasn't thinking that was going to happen to him. So, shit, that shit humbled the hell out of him.
Yeah, I bet
The
he
real
did.
question is he going to still be the same flashy dude or he just going to be more tight with it?
No, see, that's my thing. You got to move different. Like that's.
You got to. Because how were you able to get robbed? Like, where were your people at?
Well, they said they caught him slipping because it was after the club, it was after the party. He was on his way back to the crib, and then the two dudes jumped out, so they followed him. So they knew where he stayed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he got lined up. At the end of the day, he said it, and we believe it, that he got lined up by his people. But for $175,000, how
You think it was his own people?
he think his own people lined him up? He don't think they pulled the gun to his head, but he think they lined him up. He think
That's
that they
just
gave him
that's
the
just
info.
as bad. They gave him the go.
Hold on one
Green
second.
light.
Hold on one second. I gotta give a quick shout out to my boy C's, Kyler Woods, Rachel Raymond, Charlie Brown, my man Charles, John. Let me know. Can y'all hear us and see us? Because my shit be fucking up, bro. Like honestly, I can't tell if the shit's stuttering or not. So C's, let me know. Can you hear and see us? It's my man 100 grand right here, John Caesar. So I'm hoping he says something. He might not be in here. Let me, you know what? Fuck it. Let's keep it moving.
Right.
With that being said, and we can always catch it back on the replay. Y'all know where we at, TOLPcast.com. All right, the last hot take I wanted to talk to y'all about is the Fab and Emily thing. Now, last night I did a live with my wife, and we had the discussion about domestic violence and all that shit. But I want to ask you, as a man, and you know, men go through things. We've, as men, been alive and lived through things. So with that being said,
Right.
without saying too much, Fab beating Emily,
Yeah.
how you feel about that? How you feel about these allegations? Did he do it? Did he not?
I mean, for him to go into jail and turn himself in, there had to been some validity to the accusations. But it's all allegedly.
Yeah.
But when I seen that video, I was like, whoa. Like,
Yeah.
we know Fab is the Mr. Cool guy. Like, he the cool kid. Like,
Yeah.
he never, like, loses cool. But
Oh, yeah.
it's always the side they show and the side they don't want you to see. And that's the side he probably don't want people to see. I don't know what caused it. It ain't right. Like, no matter what she did, like,
Right.
You don't put your hands on a woman.
Yeah, we're not
Like,
justifying it. We just answering the question of
I mean, I was shocked. That's the last person, because Fab been around for 20 years. He's
yeah.
never been in no kind of drama besides the Ray J shit.
Even in
And I was,
public, and even in that shit, good point. Got to throw the horns up for that. Even in that point, he was still smooth and cool with it. You know, Ray
yeah,
J
he
was
was.
bugging on the interview, and then Fab called in, and he was like, Brandy brother, Brandy little
Right.
brother. Like, he's a clown, and like that's the Fab we know. So it hurts to hear that he could potentially be this other person, but that video is extremely incriminating because you've never
Right.
seen him say, "I got a bullet with your name on it." Like that shit's kind of scary. Like
That's
Fab,
some shit. That's some shit on Godfather.
right?
I gotta put it with your name on it. I'm like, damn, he probably do.
Right. Shit.
Man, that was like something. I was like, he actually said that. I'm like, they made that up. He didn't say that.
He did, and so
And then, did you notice he had a knife in his hand?
so I saw him pointing something sharp. And for people that don't
That was-
know, Fab had an interaction or an altercation between him, his girl, and his girl's father, who the we'll call her the girlfriend. The girlfriend called the father and the brother to come remove the guns from the house because she feared for her life in that home. They went and did the shit. Fab found out. He spazzed out. He's talking about, I got a bullet with your name on it, talking to his girlfriend, long-term girlfriend, mother of his children, saying, I got a bullet with your name on it. And and then he gets at Emily with the sharp object, kind of like striking at her like, bitch, this
She
your
was
fault.
screaming in terror. Like,
Yes.
she thought it was about to go down.
Man, I'm telling you, bro, it really brings back some type of emotion of, damn, this is not the Fab that we've ever seen before. And so it fucks with you because
Yeah.
just like last night again, when we had the last episode, we talked about the difference between the artist and the person. Is
I was just
Fab
about to say that. Wow.
is Fab that much of a good artist that he's been able to finesse his situations to make himself the cool guy for 2 decades, and now all of a sudden we seeing Fab the person? You know what I'm saying?
And I think he did a hell of a job, because this doesn't come out of nowhere. This is
Oh
you.
man, yeah, that's
This is your true side. I mean, everybody don't be angry all the time, but
yeah.
you haven't. This is built up anger. Like,
That shit had me shook, and I gotta give a shout out too. I got Lydell Lipsy in the building, horns for that. And now you know what time it is. The main topic with this I-standard competitor. If you don't know what it is, that means that he's official in the game when it comes to music, and so he's the only person I can have this conversation with and to have some type of damn validity. So, or legitimately, or validity, whatever the fuck. So, bomb for that. Wherever I fucked up, keep dropping them bombs.
you sound like the dude
bombs.
from The Simpsons.
Oh,
Oh, what's the dude? Ned Flanders.
yeah, I don't give a high diddly fuck who I sound like. We get it in. So, main topic, the de-evolution of black music, specifically hip-hop and R&B. I want to talk to you, Smith, first and foremost. The golden era. What do you consider to be the golden era of black music from the time you've been alive to the time we are now?
Golden era of music, black music,
Black
or just
music.
rap?
No, black music, hip-hop, R&B. We're gonna do it like that.
Man, I would have to say
And when we say
golden,
era,
the golden era.
let's go
I
by
would
decades.
say,
Let's go by decades. So we say the 80s, 90s,
wow.
2000s, or the 2010s.
90s for sure.
90s for sure. Why you say that?
Well, I feel R&B wise, there were more emotion, and like I always say, I listen to R&B. I'm like, the male groups or the male singer, they like begged for their women back in the day. Now it's like they're like what's the word I'm looking for?
They basically
It's
saying
like-
bust it open for a real nigga?
They just real blunt and straightforward. Like, hey, like they want to like court you back then, and like they was talking about starting a family with you. They don't say that in these songs now.
Nope.
I'm not saying all artists, but the majority, what you hear on the radio,
Yeah.
they talking about, I'm about to fuck you and I'm about to fuck your girl. That's their main thing now. They want to fuck your girl for bragging rights. I could take your girl.
Yep. Oh,
So,
yeah. What's his name? Mr. Steal Your Girl, Trey
Trey
Songz.
Songz.
Yeah, so that's his nickname, Mr. Steal Your Girl. We had a transition from meet me at the altar with your white dress to I'm Mr. Steal Your Girl. Like nigga, it's that's the polar opposite of what we're trying to get done here. So
Yeah.
90s, I gotta say for me, the golden era has gotta be for black music as a
Black
whole.
music.
Black music. My golden era has gotta be the 2000s, and I gotta drop a bomb for myself and a couple air horns. It's gotta be
What's your reason?
reason being the 2000s are when I feel like the transition of production and also what I want to say, the personification of an artist truly came into a public spectrum because of social media. So you start to see more of I can reach out and touch these people, like you know, point blank period. 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. That was a 2003, 2004 album that rang bells. Like that's a classic. I got to give him that respect. Jay has had his moments in the 98 and 99, but when you get down to like the blueprints, when you get down to basically everything,
Black album.
the Black Album, like 2000s, and I hate to say it, but I almost have to break it down in half and say 2000 to 2005 because the second half is when I feel like the degeneration occurred, and that was kind of like the second topic of the transition era. And I also want to touch on the point that you're completely right when it comes to R&B. R&B, our folks had, Al Green, Luther Vandross, Isley Brothers, all that. They talking about my nigga Ron Isley said In Between the Sheets. He got this part of In Between the Sheets that I was working on a sample of, and he was like, I'm coming, 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 coming. I'm like, nigga, if you say that today, it means something totally different. You can't
Totally
sing
different.
You can't
They'll
sing
bleep
that.
that whole part out.
Right. So they had that generation, but in our generation, we still had the R&B of both male and female. You got the TLC, but then you also had your Jagged, your 112s, you had your RLs, and then you had a bunch of solo acts like Tyrese, Tank, Genuine, all that. But then it kind of came to a close.
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, rest in heaven, Queen. But then you had this hiatus where it was like R&B kind of stifled itself. You even had a subsect of R&B called neo soul, which to me on a mainstream level doesn't even exist anymore. Your Jill Scott, India Irie.
Erica Badu.
On a mainstream spectrum, it's not getting no airplay. You got to go to SoundCloud or you got to go on fucking Spotify and put it on your playlist.
I say because it don't have a platform now because the lack of music videos. Back in the early 2000s, late 90s, there was a platform for them.
And you had
BET, and then you had what was the other BET channel?
Yeah,
it was
TV One Bounce.
It was one that just showed music videos. The BET that just showed music videos. I know what
you're talking about. I ain't got the name
on
the top of the head, but yeah, there was a channel.
It was VH1 Soul. VH1 Soul.
There you go.
So I say that platform has been taken away. I think they still got the channels. I don't have cable no more.
You know what's funny, bro? The thing is, they've transitioned those channels into pushing them past the paywall. So what happened before was you had cable. You just had the cable. So, the only thing we didn't get on cable was HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, Stars, all that shit.
Yeah, the premium channels.
Now that they've tiered cable, you can have cable and not have TV One and VH1 Black and all that other stuff. Like
I noticed that.
Now they've broken it down to where they charge a premium for you to get the content from people of color. And I feel
they charge a premium for sports channels now.
There you go.
ESPN.
So, not to digress though. So the golden era,
right.
You made your point. I made my point. The transition. Where do you see the transition occurring to what's now? Not getting into what we are
you
now.
Said,
but where was the transition?
When did it start?
When did the transition occur in your mind between where we were with the greatness of the music we had in the 90s? Because that was your era, you said. So
I got to make my transition from the 90s to now. It's a 20-year gap.
Oh, you know what? Actually, let me start with this, and let me make it quick. Where do you feel like the current era is? Do you feel like we've evolved musically from black music, from hip-hop and R&B, or have we devolved with the mumble rap and with the melodic tones with
Uh,
no lyrics and all that shit that people feel.
well, I could never say we haven't evolved because we're the number one genre of music, and
So we've bridged
we
the gap.
we beyond we've been bridged together. They just now accepting it,
Okay.
saying claiming that we're number one. Because if you look now, like you can't go nowhere without hearing a rap song or even regular commercials got like a little trap beat playing in the
Oh, you're right.
background. Like for coffee, like I'm listening to Folgers, but it's a Metro Boomin beat in the background.
You know what's
Not
funny?
saying it's him, but it's a beat like his.
And you know what's funny? I was listening to a commercial recently with my wife, and it was for Mountain Dew. And this nigga that was driving his NASCAR, and at the end he's drinking his Mountain Dew, and all you hear is "I'm all the way up," and I'm like, wow, we are truly blended into quote unquote pop culture in that regard.
Or mainstream or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And plus, I think the state right now is I feel like is we have a platform. Like people don't even do music for music no more. People using the platform to get into other ventures, which isn't bad. You know, you always want to have multiple sources of income
Right.
because it's not money is the best way to make. I mean, music is the best way to make money off of album sales. Touring is the only way. So you have to build your what's the word? You have to build not your portfolio, but you got a brand now. Like
Well,
it's all about social.
let's get to the shits then. So, do you feel like current day music is solid? This current era, the
The
Migos,
actual,
the Futures,
the actual music,
the songs.
the actual music, the quality isn't as good as it used to be.
So that
Sim,
devolved then.
sim, simply being because everybody copycats each other. So most of the time now, you hear a song, you don't know who is who no more because everybody's sound alike.
I'll be
it's
honest.
like
I can't
it's like
tell.
it's a thousand Drakes out here.
I can't tell the difference between the three Migos personally. When I hear the
I,
Migos,
I actually can.
but you got an ear for it. I'm telling you, as an individual listener who's out of the
Yeah.
game of production and everything like that, when I hear the Migos,
Right.
unless they say their name like Offset, and then I know okay, it's Offset or Takeoff. You know,
Right.
like I don't know who's
Mama.
right. I don't. You know what I'm saying, Mama? Like, so to me, it's funny because we got that different ear. I'm an ear as a listener. You're an ear as a producer and as a person who's in the industry. So it makes sense for you to be able to discern between the two. For me, I'm still thinking like the golden era is over for us. Like once we've made the transition into pop and mainstream, what I want to see is the people who are
I'm actually gonna jack a quote from Just Blaze. He was just on this new Netflix show on Rapture. I mean, a new show called Rapture on
on
Netflix,
Netflix. Yep,
and
I checked it.
he actually says this line like, I wish they could do it like we used to." And then he said, "I hate when people say that because that means we won't be progressing. We won't have no innovators. If you want to be stuck on the past, then how can you move forward?" I was like, damn, like, that makes a lot of sense. Because everybody always say, oh, man, I wish, or people emulate the 90s sound and stuff. It's like, it's innovative, but it's not. It's like, we already heard that. It's
You know
like,
what? That's actually pretty profound. Let me drop a couple of horns for that. And I guess in
give
closing,
my horns.
yeah, I got your horns, nigga. I got your horns. And with that being said, I'm gonna close it out with what's next in your opinion. What's next? What is going to be the next wave? Because right now we're talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine, we're talking about Cardi B, we're talking about Migos. You know,
Boom. What was he saying? Boom.
right?
Boom.
So what's next? What do you prophesy as being the next wave when it comes to music for people of color, for hip hop, R&B, rap? Again, being from that industry, what is your prophecy?
Well,
You got
more of a
30 seconds.
prophecy. It's not a prophecy. It's more so what I would like to see. I would like to see,
Bars. Not a prophecy. It's what I like to see. Bars. A couple bars for that. You rapping now?
Don't take the bars. Don't take the bars. top of the dome that easy. But I want to see groups make a comeback.
Okay.
You know, like R&B, male and female groups. I feel as though everybody want to be about me. So that's probably why it's so hard. For 4 or 3 people to be a collective. I'm like, the Migos is doing it. Like, why can't I can't see an R&B group do it?
Okay.
I mean, somebody has to like bridge that gap again.
Well, final thoughts. Got to put you on with the Rockstar outro. Final thoughts. C.Smith, C.Smith, the one and only producer on the podcast, the greatest.
Right.
What's your final thoughts on this episode? What do you want the people to know?
Final thoughts is don't put your hands on your ladies, fellas.
Ooh,
because
all the way back.
Cameras are everywhere, and you for real, man. Cameras are on the fucking lights and the fucking turn signals. Like, there's light cameras everywhere. You don't want to put yourself in that situation.
All right, so
it's just a shitty thing. What else? Please stop hating on the new people in music. Like, it's music out there for everybody. Like, name music not dead. Like, I hate when people say that. It's music out there for everybody. Go find it.
Yeah.
Like, please stop saying that. And what else? We talked about don't shoot nobody because they owe you money. You too. Y'all suck for that. Pay these people. They put in hard work, putting their material together, chopping these videos up. Shout out to my boy Thinking Out Loud himself. He puts in work.
Yes, sir.
That's like you would feel away too if somebody cut your funds off.
I would.
But I think you would not go on their campus and shoot them up.
And so I got to restart the outro because your last thoughts was like 5 last thoughts. So let me go ahead and say this shit. First and foremost, I got to appreciate the bro, C.Smith. He came on, he did the damn thing, gave the honest truth, because this is fucking thinking out loud. So with that being said, we think out loud. I'm pointing to my mans, J Lit, TOLPcast.com. You know who I am, you know where I be. And where can they find you again?
Instagram and Snapchat, C.Smith. CHEY, the letter C, Smith.
Alright, and with that, you gotta say the we out with me, so we do like we out.
We out.
Oh, good job. That's a good effort. I appreciate you, bro. And with that being
good
said,
shit, man.
We gotta lock it in. Let me go ahead and end the stream. And replay, check it out. If you're listening to this on the replay, you already know where to go. If you didn't fuck with us during the live stream, every Tuesday, 6 p.m., you know what? And we might do a couple Wednesdays. You never know. This is a surprise. This is What the Hell Wednesday. What the hell Wednesday?
What the hell just happened?
I gotta make time for the homie. So, with that being said, we out.
Right.